high now that you'll never get to use it. So Obamacare is a disaster, and honestly, it's going to fold by 17 anyway. It's folding because all the people that they didn't think were going in are going in, and the people they did think, meaning the people that pay, they're not going in. So we are going to get rid of Obamacare, and we're going to have a great plan, and it's going to be a much less expensive plan, and it's going to be a plan that's much better for the people. So much fat. When I I watch a guy like Jeb Bush, who's totally in favor of Common Core. And I say, no wonder he's down at 2%. No, can you imagine? Jeb Bush is in favor of Common Core, totally against Common Core, me, totally against. We're going to kill the Common Core. We're going to bring education back to the local communities where it should be. We're going to have great education. Don't forget, with all of the money we spend, we spend so much on education, #1 in the world. So we're #1 per pupil in the world by a factor of, you have no idea, by so far ahead. We're number 28 in education. We have third world countries that are ahead of us. So we're bringing education back. We're getting rid of Common Core. While I'm on a subject, Second Amendment, we're going to cherish and protect our Second Amendment. It's under siege. It's under siege. And we're going to be cutting a lot of the floor, the pews, waste. There's so much of it, and we're going to start chopping down that $19 trillion. Hard to believe, 19 trillion. But we're going to start chopping it down, and we'll chop it down very significantly, quickly, and we're going to bring jobs back to this country, believe me.
Thank you very much, Charles. Just so you know, when I was there, it was $11.95 trillion, and you see where it is today. Now, we have a question right here, this young lady, and then I see we have a question right there.
Hi, so I just want to ask, college debt is a huge problem right now, and luckily I go to a university that I get to go for free because I'm under income cap. But student debt is a huge issue, and I wanted to know what you were going to do when you're president, Mr. Trump.
It's one of the biggest questions I get from young people, because I go all over, and it's student debt. One of the big answers, obviously, Scott, is jobs. Because the biggest problem is they graduate. They don't mind the debt as much as they mind the fact that they go through 4 years or 2 years of college, and then they get out, they can't get a job. So we're going to create jobs. I always say, I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. That's my dream. But you know what's happened? Students are going out. I've been watching this process, and I'm not even blaming the college. It's sort of natural. It's a very, bad system in a way. Students go out and they borrow money from the federal government. Now they have the money. And the colleges keep going up, 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 much more than they should be going up, because all they do is take all this money, because essentially they're borrowing it. The students are like a middleman. They're just taking from the students. So there's no incentive for the colleges to bring costs down. And the college costs, running the college, they're going through the roof, including salaries for the top people. I'm looking at salaries that some of these people are making. It looks like they're running General Motors, or when General Motors runs properly. But it looks like they're running, a major corporation. And it's really a problem, because and I understand how the system works, and that's sort of the way the system works. But the way we have to do it is we have to go in and check it, because what's happening in the colleges, they're taking this money, and the next year they go up, and the government gives more money to the students. So the one that suffers, the people that suffer, the students, I'm going to solve the problem. Okay? Thank you. Good question.
We have a young lady right here. If you can hand the mic straight back to this young lady right there. Raise your hand high, young lady. Speak right in the microphone.
So I have a two-part question. How are you planning on keeping the country safe from international threats?
Okay, well, that's a very big question.
Good question.
It's a great question. I hope the second part is important. That could be a part 5 question. Look, we need a strong military. Right now we have a military that's under siege. When General Orellana left a few weeks ago, he said that we are the least prepared that he's ever seen, our military. And yet we should be the most prepared, because the world hates us. Obama and Hillary have done a horrible job. I mean, the world is under flame. The world is burning, and they hate us. And if you think about it, during the Obama administration, look what's happened. And our military has become absolutely, I'm in the real estate business, I get these listings from military bases all the time, military base. I say, how many of these things are we giving up? We have military bases, so many are closing. We are going to have a military that's so strong and so powerful. that nobody's going to mess with us, believe me. Okay? And I have to add, and I think you would agree, you know that's very costly, but that's cheaper than what we're doing now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And your second part to your question?
Can I take a selfie with you?
Well, we'll see you after.
Come
You
on,
can come right down here. We'll...
Come on, Scott, don't be a party pooper, Scott. Come on. Let's do it, Kevin. Let's do it. Come on, Kevin. I don't know if Kevin can do it. I don't think Kevin's strong enough. Be careful. Come on, fellas, help her. The owner's gonna help her. He's a strong guy. He lifts cars all the time. Come on, that's it, darling. Come on. Scott is a party pooper. Come on. Obviously, he's not running for office. If he was running, he would have said, come on up.
I have instructions. The gentleman with the glasses right there, the green shirt, you're going to have to speak up. There's no mic. Oh, there's a microphone right there. Thank you.
I think the border is paramount. Without getting the border under control and immigration, none of this, all the rest of this is irrelevant. We've got to get this border under control, the immigration. Are you going to make a commitment to seal that border, close the immigration down for a couple of years till we figure out what to do next?
I'm the one. You're talking to the converted. You're talking to the converted. I mean, forget it. We're going to have a border. You know, if you don't ever, I just was interviewed by George Stephanopoulos. If you don't have a border, you don't have a country. You don't have a country. We don't really have a country. We have a border that's like a piece of Swiss cheese. We are going to have borders that are so strong. The wall will be built. It'll be a real wall. That'll be a wall. This will be a serious wall. But we're going to have a border. We're going to have borders all over. And we're going to stop the whole thing with the visas where people fly in, you know, because the border is 50% of it. But we also have people coming in through so many different ways. We're going to have a real strong country again. And we're going to want people to come in, and we're going to want people to go through the process. We want people to come in, they have to come in legally, okay?
Thank you very much. There's a gentleman in the green shirt right there with his hand up.
You're a bigot.
One of the main principles of your campaign is to annihilate ISIS.
I'm sorry, hey, who cares? Guys, who cares? What's your question?
One of the main principles of your campaign is to annihilate ISIS. After you do so, besides taking the oil, what will you do to bring stability to the region and prevent some of the mistakes made in Iraq?
Okay, well, I have to be honest with you. This has been going on for a long time. Stability to the region. We've been doing this for 15 years. We've become a debtor nation doing it. Our roads are falling down. Our highways, our bridges, I mean, our bridges are in such bad shape, they're like 50% of them are considered unsafe. We have to rebuild the United States. We have to rebuild the United States. Now, we got to get rid of ISIS. You know, I was very proud to say, and you know, everyone says, oh, Trump is this tough guy, he'll be fast. I'm slower on the trigger, but I'm a tough guy. I'm the strongest guy militarily that you can ever have. Okay, I always say, I'm a militaristic person. And we're going to have such a strong military. But you know what? It's time, folks, for us. We're going to get rid of ISIS. We're going to get rid of them surgically and fast. Because you can't allow them to cut Christians' heads off and everyone else's heads off. That's from medieval times. You know, Scott, I used to read about that. And I said, you know, this is no different. We're living in medieval times. We're living in times that are just as bad as they ever were in the history of the world. They're cutting people's heads off. I used to read that when I was in history class, the viciousness, right? Medieval times, boom. We're doing the same thing right now, probably more viciously. We are living probably the most vicious time. We have people that are disgusting, disgusting animals. And we're going to stop that. But you know what? We've got to get back to our country. We've got to bring our people back. And we've got to let people know that if they mess around with us, they're going to be gone. We're going to wipe them off the face of the earth.
We have one more question right there, Donald, and this will be the last question, and Donald, you're going to go. And then, but before we ask that question, Donald, what is the website that people can go to either volunteer or help out or spread the message?
DonaldJTrump.com.
There you go.
Donald J. And in New Hampshire, by the way, the polls are coming out. We're leading by like 20 points. We're doing great. But you know what? Please do me a favor.